Gintama is back, everybody. It's been a while, which it's not exactly true. We had this end around about March time, so even though like we're still continuing technically the 2017 run of Gintama, this one isn't going to be as serious as the last season that we was dealing with, because straight up and all that, they address fully in this episode that yeah, we was supposed to go to the final arc, but fuck that noise. We're going to be going somewhere else. We're going to be adapting all of the other stuff that we've been missing out and all that. So for Gintama 2017, I've got to say, and all, to have some comedy like back into the series, like which is still there in like the final arc and a lot of stuff, but it's been mainly very heavy tones of just action. I am smiling all the way throughout there, and to see some of my favorite moments and all that adapted finally into the actual TV screen and all that with the voice acting and everything and all that is utterly fantastic. I've already addressed as well in a previous video about the opening, the new opening and all that. I absolutely adore it. I've been listening to it a couple of times already. Absolute full thumbs up on that one. Don't think it's the best opening out of all of Gintama. Gintama's got some really good music along the way, but definitely still a very strong opening. And I think a lot of people are real big fans of the new ending, especially because it shows all of the main like female supporting cast in wedding dresses, like with the exception of like, a few of the characters and all that. Like, you know, like I like Tama as well, isn't in there. Although I feel bad for the Tama fans. I know some of you guys wanted to see that stuff, but overall it's a nice little ending and all that for the most part. But the episode itself, Gintoki and Umibozu steal the fucking show in Kagura Gets a Boyfriend. Yes, and that is for real. It took 300 plus episodes and hundreds and dozens of chapters, but yes, Kagura at this point now in the series finally has a boyfriend. So immediately Umibozu just came around and said, you know what, I'm gonna see my door. It's been a while and all that, and this is pre all of the serious stuff and all that, the fight with Utsuro, with him fighting off Kamui, all of this stuff and all that. This is what way before any of that serious stuff. I'm pretty sure this is like before, like I think it's like before like all the stuff with Gintoki versus Takasugi, but after the Shogun assassination arc. So regardless, it's like when we see him, it's like it's a little bit weird because we've seen Umibozu, you know, pretty much like have the entire conflict of his family, and now he's got to go through another conflict. This is when he sees his like little baby girl and all that finally gets her first little love letter, and immediately is like, yep, this is my boyfriend now, I'm gonna take it. Umibozu losing his shit, throwing a telephone line straight into the Gintoki's house, and it's like, what the fuck is your problem? I said look after my fucking girl, like what are you doing? I can't stand this. And it's like, Gintoki's like, wait, listen, you bald fucking piece of shit, I don't know what's going on. And he keeps, I love how the two of them just like beating the shit out of each other throughout the entirety of the episode, and he just like saying, no, listen here, and he keeps slapping him obviously on the head. He's like, you bald piece of shit, I ain't done nothing. And then when they both realize after Kagura's like, I got a boyfriend, both of them start sweating. They start like, wait, you were just being a prick, alright, but this is some download shit. And it's like, regardless of how funny like the episodes are and all that, this is the one where I kind of like this arc a little bit, because it really does show a lot about, like how I said a lot of the times before in like previous manga chapters, or even as well when I talked about the anime before, especially with Kagura, is I love the whole mentality and everything behind that, you know, like Gintoki is like Kagura's father as well, in the same line, like isn't by birth and all that, and like, you know, a lot of the time they refer to a guardian, but I love the fact that it's like a lot of time Umibozu like respects him and saying like, I trust you to look after my little girl. And when both of them realize, you know, this might be someone that's like, you know, playing with her, like with her feelings and everything, and that, you know, she could get hurt because of this, both of them care deep down, like because of this situation. And like even as well, like with like when they were having it's some of my favorite stuff. It's like the two of them are just there's no real joke going on, they're just having drinks and they're just talking about Kagura. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, you know, punchline to punchline to punchline with the show, but when it does do it, it is strong. And some of the more subtle moments, I like to say sometimes and all that, are honestly some of the strongest things in this show. I will say, if anything and all that, with one thing I did notice in the episode, I don't know if that was just this the first episode of like the TV. I know they obviously like turn up the episodes a little bit, like, you know, when it comes to like releasing them on the DVDs and Blu-rays. But is it just me? But I was looking at a couple of shots in this episode, and just Kagura's like face just looked really fucking weird. It was mainly like her eyes were just inflated up to it. I know they're saying a lot when it's anime, but her eyes are just fucking huge. Like, and her face looked a little bit weird, so I'm not sure if that was just like little animation errors. It's just something I just only noticed recently in this episode and all that. Because like, it's been a while since I've seen Gintama like that. Like, I did watch a majority of like 2017, but since I've already read the manga, I didn't see all of it and all that. Like, I mainly just saw the most like important parts of the like the whole arc and everything. But I am caught up to stuff with all the manga and everything, so I definitely know what's going on. But it looked a little bit like weird and rough, and especially I noticed that as well with 2017 and a little bit of later of the end of 2015. I think that was like it was looking a little bit at some parts here and there and all that. But then again, like, it's a TV budget, so you can't really like expect like glorious manga about. Although what they did fucking nail, and I absolutely loved. It's like Shinpachi's like leaving these two alone, going to the pub and all that. It's like, alright, they're letting them have drinks and all that. Let's meet like Kagura's boyfriend tomorrow. Let's get this whole shit sorted out. Shinpachi comes to the fucking house, comes to the office, and like both Gintoki and fucking Umibosu's face just smashed through the fucking wall, smiling with this most creepy fucking thing. It's like, oh, hello. It's just like, it was terrifying and hilarious. I was having near a heart attack just seeing these two and all that, and I was like, I forgot how good the gag is. And then when it's like, you two are fucking idiots, what are you doing? He opens the door and he's like, don't worry, we've become true adults and all that for this situation. And then like Shinpachi opens the door and it's like, wait, why did you guys go like grow an extra 7 feet? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why do you guys look like Captain Tsubasa characters after all? It's like, I love that a little bit. Even as well, like the start of the show, they were mocking, saying like, let's recap the entirety of the show, and then they decided to add not only like One Piece and Dragon Ball into it, with adding some weird shit. They just decided to add like Hunter x Hunter, My Hero, all the, you know, all the casual stuff, and just in there, it's like, yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening throughout the entirety of like the arcs and all that. And it's like, but what about the final arc? Nah, forget about that. Don't worry about that. Pretend none of this shit happened and all that. And even the characters know that's weird. It's like, we're doing this shit right now, and like, we can either know as well, like, with what's happening, like, especially, like, with the opening, and also as well, some of the people are already pointed out, like, this is some of the arcs that they've already, like, they planned to do out, like we see in the opening, that there's going to be the little swordsman stuff and all that, which is a really good goddamn arc as well, so I'm finally glad that's going to be animated. There's a few, like, extra little ones and some one-shots as well. I think there's, like, supposed to be one with, like, Nobume in there. Like, I'm generally looking forward to, like, well, a lot of the stuff and all that, and I feel this, especially this show and all that, and the scene, like, it's going to be feeling very episodic, and I think it's going to have, for the supporting cast at least and all that, it's going to have very strong, like, certain moments. Like, as well, I feel like they're already firing off at, like, probably one of the better arcs of the stuff that they skipped on, because I really like this arc, and I'm, like, remembering some of the other stuff, apart from the swordsman and maybe one or two on there, some of them are, like, they're funny and all that, but they're nothing, like, too much special about that, so I don't know how really reviews are going to go for this show, because I would like to talk about Gintama again, especially with the manga very closely to wrapping up now, because they've pretty much done everything, and I've got my own thoughts about the manga. Maybe if I like do a catch-up video on that, I'll kind of mention how I feel about some of the stuff it's done recently as well, and like just how the supporting cast in that, it's just everyone got their moment to shine in that. Like, but I don't want to go too much, because I know some of you guys aren't like like with the manga at the moment, or like you're not fully caught up, but for certain people, they're like, is this an episode to like watch? And it's like, considering that this is like 4 seasons in, like considering it's a Crunchyroll and all that, and it's like episode 300 or so, no, I would not. This is a terrible episode, considering if this is the first episode of Gintama you're gonna watch. However, it could be like, if you saw this and you're like, it is hilarious and all that, I don't understand any of these characters, but I might go and check it out, then I would highly recommend, with a lot of people, that you check out mainly like episode, like maybe the first 2 episodes or so of the series and all that. Maybe the first 2 are filler in the original Gintama, so maybe just go from there. Honestly, I feel like it's the best representation of, like, if you like the show that has a mix of comedy, a mix of action, just watch the first movie of Gintama. It's the best way. And I know a lot of people always ask, where should I watch Gintama? And I say, maybe try the first movie out, see if you like that. If not, just go into the ride and all that. Like, honestly, it was a fantastic episode. It had a lot of, like, strong punchlines from the last part. And then seeing, like, Kagura's boyfriend at the end is, like, this just giant Shingeki no Kyojin, like Titan just there. And it's like, oh, God. So, yeah, you're going to have to be able to deal with that shit. But overall, strong episode. I was smiling, I was laughing, and it just felt good to just watch something. I hadn't really been watching anime all this season, so it's just good to watch like just an enjoyable anime, and just like, just a adorable, lovable cast and all that. That I just like every time I see them and all that, it's just like puts a giant smile on my face and all that. And that's what I love about Gintama. Is like no matter what and all that, seeing these characters like just animated, or even just when I'm reading the manga and all that, just seeing these characters, like these are just fucking good fucking characters, and I know I can always have a laugh or have real good emotional scenes with them. So that's all for me. Overall, just strong. Cannot recommend it if you're a Gintama fan. Watch them and all that. Don't expect the final arc and all that, but I think maybe like they might like announce at the end of this season that they're finally going to start doing like the final arc and everything. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's all for me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.